Alright YouTube, what's up? It's Widowmaker here. So I'm doing a video tonight on range brass, cleaning range brass, how I do it, and I mean this is probably about as dirty as it gets right here, guys. I mean, this is some freaking nasty range scrap, or brass, sorry. I picked some lead up today. I got lead on the mine. But I mean, this stuff was literally in the mud. I mean, I had to get down in the mud. I about ruined my shoes. Don't tell my wife. But everybody had picked it all up around the benches, and so I had to walk around the perimeter to get the brass, and it's real muddy there. But hey, brass is brass in my opinion, so you do what you can do to get it. At least I do. Alright, so what I do, guys, is I just deep prime. There's a primer, FYI, if you didn't know. Put it in here and just stroke up. And this is hard to get it sometimes just right. I don't want to break my pen, because this one here, you have to order the whole thing from Lee. I have had mine replaced a few times. They've always replaced it for me. They claim it's, quote, unbreakable, but yeah. So this is how I clean my brass with the stainless steel pins. You can see them in there. And this is the Rebel 17. I'm pretty happy with it. It does a phenomenal job. I'll show you this brass when we get done here. But right now, I have to decap. You don't have to, but where I'm cleaning with water and water tumbling, it's better to knock the primer out, because it goes ahead and gets the primer pocket for you and does a phenomenal job on that, where you don't have to sit there and twist it with your little primer pocket tool, screwdriver, whatever the heck you use. I use the Rebel 17 is how I clean mine. All you do is just do what I'm doing right here. Just knock the primers out. My wife's gonna love it. I had it all over the floor. I'll have to sweep tonight. It's about 20 to 12. Midnight. But where I have an assortment of brass, I try to get the same, like this is 38 special, or I'm sorry, Super, which I do not have, but I don't load for it, but I go ahead and pick up all the brass that I find, just because later on you never know what you may run into. It's like, these are 380s, okay? Personally, I wouldn't hit a dog in the ass with a 380. Some people like it, that's fine. Me, I just don't feel that it's powerful enough in a self-defense situation. So I don't own one. That's fine if you carry one. It's my opinion. I just would like something a bit powerful. I mean, basically what you're shooting is an underpowered 9mm, and I don't own a 9. I would like to get a 9. I have probably 2,000 pieces of brass plus 2,000 plus, probably more like 5,000, and still counting, of 9. Like I said, I pick it all up, and if you don't have it or plan not to get it, like my 380 brass that I get, you can always wheel and deal, and there might be another reloader that needs some brass that you don't use or need, and you can trade. See where I got this 38 Super, and I don't know it, or a 380 or a 9mm. I plan on getting a 9 for range recreation only. I wouldn't carry it. I'm not saying a 9mm can't kill you, but there's a reason why it holds like 18 rounds. I'm a 1911 guy myself. I carry a 45 ACP or a 40 Smith & Wesson, and all that is opinionated. It's real simple. A lot of people want to know, you know, if you pack heat, you know, what's the best caliber to get to carry. Well, a lot of it is personal preference, and about 90% of it, that's 10% of it probably. The other 90% is what you can handle well and shoot well. You know, for some females, they might only be able to shoot a 9mm. That's fine. That's fine. It's better to have a 9 than not have anything at all. I mean, you know, and I know the Germans killed a lot of people with a 9mm Luger. That's a fact. There's probably been more people killed with that caliber than probably almost any other. But I prefer to stay with American-made calibers, just because. But like I said, that's all opinionated, and what you like and what you don't like. It's all apples and oranges. What you might like may not be someone else's forte, but that's fine. That's what makes the world goes around, guys. Different strokes for different folks. That's fine. So anyway, I was thinking about buying a real cheap Lee press, which this here is a Lee turret press. Not real expensive. But what I mean by cheap is like they have a press, I'm not sure the name of it, but they have a press that you can get for like, I'm thinking it's like $25, $28, something like that. And I was just going to get it for doing what I'm doing right here, because I personally don't like all this crap going in my press. And this thing definitely needs lubed, because it's been in storage for a while. I redid my son's room, and that's where I had all my reloading stuff. That's why I have this rigged like it is. It's a temporary thing. It's really annoying for me, because I had a nice bench with everything set up how I wanted it, and everything in the right spot. And I see there's so much crud in this thing here that it would not line up with the pin right. So don't force it. Just work with it, and eventually it'll do that. So anyway, it's been a real pain for me not to be able to load and lube my cast bullets like I used to. I have a small house, and it was a starter house when I bought it. I had a 6-month-old daughter when we moved here, and she's 14 now, so we're planning on getting a bigger place. Me personally, I would like to have a nice garage, which I would make it pretty much watertight. Moisture, you know, moisture free is what I'm saying by watertight. And I'd have all my jazz out there and have a fun time reloading. Well, anyway, enough babble. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up here, and we'll move on to the next step, and that will be, I'll go ahead and show you what I use in my Rebel 17 to get the brass to look as good as what it does when it comes out. It almost, in my opinion, looks like virgin brass. But here in a minute I'll show you that after I get all these knocked out. So we'll see you in a bit, guys. Okay guys, something real quick, just to be aware of this. I knew of them, but I never seen them in a pistol case. I was trying to deprime this one, and guess what? I don't know if you can see that. Right there you go. That is not a Boxer primer. That is a Berdan primer. See the two holes? Boxer primers, of course I'd have to use this one. See the hole there? It's in the center. That's a Boxer, and Berdan has 2 holes on each side. Now you can deprime these. You have to use the hydraulic method, which is basically you put water in the case, and then you get a shell holder, and you put it in there, fill that puppy up with water, and then you have to use something that will fit down in there, make a tight seal. I've seen people modify this piece here that's in a Lee die. They'll take this out and cut the tip off and use the cylinder. You know, that there's a piece in there that long that is the decapping rod. Okay, another FYI note on this: this is a Lee universal decapper. Okay, this is just a hollow sleeve here, the die. It does not in any way, shape, or form touch the brass. So I don't want you all that are kind of new to reloading go out and get some nasty range brass like I have and set up your 45 dies and run that crap through them, because you'll scratch the crap out of them. So this is what I'm saying. You see how this is bent all the chaos there? Hades, whatever. Put that in there and decap that. And that did not in any way, shape, or form touch that brass. Now, what you could do if you have a radical caved in case like this is you can get a pair of needle nose and kind of bend this out a little bit to where it's not so bad after it's cleaned. And then run it through your 45 die. You can possibly try to run it through like that, but I think I would try to bend that mouth out a little bit. And if there's a dent, a little dent there, you know, I would say that once you load that and you shoot it, it's going to shoot it out. The only time that a dent is really critical that I think of is if you have a neck down case and you have a dent in the shoulder, okay, you might as well scrap that brass. If you got a dent here, you know, that ain't a big deal. That will definitely shoot out high powered rifle, I know for a fact. But a lot of people, you know, if there's a dent in the mouth, they'll throw it away. Like if you look at this mouth here, it's not 100% symmetrical. Right here's a flat spot. And you get that a lot by just ejecting the brass and the brass hitting the ground. And it will cause the mouth to be whopper jawed like that. You can also buy brand new brass, and they recommend you resize virgin brass because in the shipping process you can get something like that. Me personally, I'm not a bench shooter, so ain't a big thing to me. But anyway, guys, we got all that brass in there, and she is dirty. That's some dirty brass right there, guys. I'm talking absolutely filthy brass. Now, you can put, I believe, up to 3 or 4 pounds. I'm thinking 3 though, max. 3 pounds of brass in this tumbler. This whole tumbler can weigh up to 25 pounds. Now that's brass and the stainless steel media, which that's 5 pounds right there in the media, in the drum, in the water, and you know. So we will get back here. And I gotta clean the kitchen up, sweep all those primers up there everywhere. But we'll get back on this tomorrow. She's 12:37 right now. I'm gonna get to bed. I had a long day. And we'll continue this to clean this brass. So I'll catch you on the flip side here in just a bit. Alright guys, and we're back. We got our brass right here. Okay, and that beautiful. It will be. Put our brass in the sink for the time being. Then we get some lemon shine. Beautiful lemon shine. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. And then I forgot what the exact dose was, but I forgot. 3/4 of a teaspoon. I don't know. Take a 45 ACP case. Fill it up like so. Actually, harder than what it looks. Okay. Fill it up like so. You got a bit of a 45 ACP case right there. Dump it in. Yeah, I had a measuring device, and my lovely wife has moved it. That's typical of my wife. Nothing aggravating than doing stuff like that. But she's good at that. Alright, so you want to fill this thing up. Water, cold water, and give them some shouts of John Donne here. I don't know, about 2, 3 teaspoons, something like that. If it doesn't foam from the agitation of the drum, basically when you open it up and it's not foaming, you didn't put enough Dawn in it. Alright, so I gotta go get my lid. That's good. Fill about an inch from the top, which you can't see, but that's good. I gotta go get my top. I'll be right back. Alright, so you got this gasket with some thumb screws, and this is your gasket. You don't want her to leak, so you gotta put your gasket on there. It's kind of funny because the other day, well, yesterday, I went to get this thing, and it's been sitting in my room for a while. Anyway, you have to clean the stainless steel media every so often with, believe it or not, Simple Green. And it will tell you when it needs clean, because you'll do some brass and it will be real dingy looking. When it gets to that extreme, it's time to use the Simple Green. But I had some Simple Green in there where I cleaned it, and I just left it in there. I didn't get back to it for a while. But anyway, my wife had this thing turned over upside down in the room, which technically it's not going to hurt anything because there's a gasket in it. But I just thought it was kind of funny, so I humored myself and told her, you know, that thing was upside down, it's got stuff in it. She just looked at me real funny, kind of like an old crap moment, but it was all good. I was just screwing with her. It's fun to do that from time to time, don't you think? I do. Alright, now we get over to our base. Alrighty guys, we're here at the base, and we just slap this puppy on here, like so, and we set the timer. See, I'm smart. I have a timer on my tumbler. I've always had a timer on my tumbler, but I have it set for 3 hours right here. Actually, right here. 1, 2, 3. So we move it till there, and we plug her up like so. turn her on. And that's already okay. Apparently it had some, well, I guess that shot out from this. Sometimes you have to help this thing along. See what the problem is? That thing's wet. Sometimes it will slide. So we had that, maybe I didn't have one there good enough, but this thing, I noticed a tumbler where it's smooth. This thing here is powder coated. But I have had it to slip from time every now and then, every great while. If it's got that soap, like what I had, if I didn't rinse it, if I didn't wipe it down like I did, if you just kind of just throw it on there, that soap will cause it to spin out, this fraction. But other than that, I mean, I've had this thing wet and it does really good. So anyway, we'll check back in 3 hours and we'll see what we got. Alright guys, here we go. Here's the final product of the tumbler. So that was the old cruddy range brass. So turned out to me pretty daggone good. There's your primer pockets, if it will focus. So that's pretty clean, guys. Insides of the cases are that clean as well. There you go. That tumbler does a phenomenal job. Wet tumbling is the only way to go. The media right there lasts forever. Do not have to worry about that wearing out or getting old or any of that. The only time you need to replace it is when you lose it here and there and everywhere. And it's fun finding all those things, because a lot of times when you get brass out of your media separator right there, you definitely want one of those, because without one it'd be something else. You could do it, but I wouldn't want to. A lot of times cases will stick together, especially, there's like 380 here, and that's 9mm over here, and this is 40 right here, and this is 45 right here, and you get mixed brass like that, you will get they'll go within one another. That's what the pliers are there for, because you can get some pretty tight ones. So anyway, that brass was extremely dirty, because I'll tell you what I had to do. I tumbled for 3 hours and I got it out, and it was still dingy, and what it did, it got my media so dirty that it wasn't cleaning the brass. You usually get 4 to 5 usages between cleaning your media, and you'll know when it needs cleaned, because you'll tumble the brass 3 or 4 hours and you'll look at it and it'll be just this dull sheen to it. And when it looks like that, it's all you got to do is get an ounce of simple green, put it in your tumbler, and tumble it for 45 minutes. Drain the water out, rinse it out. You're good to go. Throw it back in there. You're ready to tumble some more. Not a whole lot to it, guys. It's the best way to go all around, in my opinion. It's pricey. Alright guys, this is Widowmaker. Catch you on the flip side. Later.